This is McCook's Mr. Bilson. Honored to have you here. This last week, I had a professor from a long ways off show up here in McCook. And I was blessed to have a conversation with him. Over an hour, we talked about a whole slew of subjects. One of the things he mentioned, though, he said that he is running his classes, upwards of 150 per class in his students in his class. And so he said that he used his 1984 book as a guideline to keep his students in line. And I thought that interesting. Okay. And I had to hear more. And he said that on a test, upcoming test, he said he warns them not to cheat. If you cheat, you automatically get a 0 and you're kicked out of the class. So you're in a bind. Also, he said that if you even have a cell phone on your table or in your lap, whatever you've got, even a cell phone, it could be utilized to help you with your tests. So that will get you a 0 and kicked out of the class as well. Puts a 1984 twist in it by simply saying anyone here that sees someone else cheating, you tell on them, and you get an A if it's confirmed. If it's confirmed. Okay. So your neighbor is your worst enemy. The communists and the Nazis both did such things. With that, he was talking to me, and I said, okay, have you ever caught anybody? He said, oh, yeah, a lot. But he said, the first one, though, was interesting because a young man after the test came up and he said, my neighbor, young lady, was using her cell phone, which is part of that problem and would get you, a 0. And so they looked at the cameras and they couldn't prove by the cameras his statement. So he called the girl in, and when he called her in, as she came in, he said, this is not a social call, which should have been a warning. And the young lady should have either denied or kept her mouth shut. Would have gone a long way. Any lawyer would tell you that. But she broke down and started crying. And she said, I used my cell phone. You caught me. And so she was had. She said that a family member had died and she was texting some of the other family members. And the professor said, all you'd had to do is come up and say, I need an extension on this test. And he said, you'd been free. But he said, since you did that, there is no room, no mercy. And he gave her a 0 and kicked her out of the class. And the young man that turned her in, he got an A. He got an A. If you think that's pretty heavy-handed and no mercy given, tomorrow I fear it'll be a lot worse than that book of 1984. Absolutely. You guys have a good day.